Imagine a world where memory is no longer a fixed archive but a living document, endlessly adjustable, precisely editable, and entirely negotiable. Welcome to an era where the past is no longer something that happened to you, but something you can redesign. Where pain can be muted, joy can be amplified, and regret can be rewritten like a faulty sentence in a book. This is not science fiction knocking at the door anymore, it is the quiet hum of a future preparing to enter the human mind. Memories are the invisible architects of who we are. They sculpt our fears, fuel our ambitions, and silently guide every choice we make. What we love, what we avoid, who we trust, and who we become are all rooted in stored experiences. Now imagine the power to reach into that mental architecture and rearrange the foundations. One deletion could erase trauma. One edit could soften heartbreak. One rewrite could turn failure into confidence. The promise feels like liberation, but the cost may be identity itself. In such a future, suffering would no longer be permanent. Survivors of tragedy could choose peace over pain. Soldiers could return from war without nightmares echoing through their sleep. Victims of loss could remove the sharp edges of grief without erasing love. Humanity would, for the first time, possess the ability to heal the mind as deliberately as the body. Emotional medicine would replace emotional endurance, and resilience might become optional. But memory is not just pain, it is also responsibility. Our mistakes teach us restraint, our guilt shapes our morals, and our regrets sharpen our wisdom. If a person deletes the memory of wrongdoing, does accountability vanish with it? If shame is edited out, does ethics weaken? A world without painful memories may also become a world without lessons, where growth is optional and repetition of error becomes inevitable. Consider relationships in a reality where memories are editable. Arguments could be erased. Betrayals could be softened. Love could be preserved without conflict. But would affection still be authentic if its history is selectively filtered? Trust is built not only on joy, but on surviving damage together. If we rewrite every crack, relationships may look perfect while becoming emotionally hollow beneath the surface. Power, inevitably, would seek control over memory. Governments could rewrite public perception. Corporations could edit consumer loyalty. Leaders could delete dissent from the minds of the governed. History itself could be reshaped not by debate, but by direct neural revision. Truth would no longer be defended, it would be installed. Freedom of thought would become the final battlefield. Now imagine memory editing as a luxury product. The wealthy could purchase confidence, courage, and emotional clarity, while the poor remain trapped in unedited trauma. Inequality would no longer be measured only in money, but in mental peace. Society would divide between those who can afford to forget and those forced to remember everything. The mind would become the most expensive territory on Earth. Creativity, too, would be transformed. Artists often draw from pain, memory, and unresolved emotion. If sorrow is deleted, what happens to depth? If struggle is rewritten, what fuels expression? We might gain happier minds but lose profound art, trading emotional complexity for emotional comfort. The human story could become smoother, but flatter. Then comes the terrifying question of consent. What if memories are edited without permission? What if a criminal deletes remorse? What if a witness's memory is altered? What if a child grows up with curated experiences instead of real ones? Memory editing would demand new laws, new ethics, and new definitions of human rights. The right to remember may become as sacred as the right to speak. There is also the danger of addiction to perfection. Why live through hardship when it can be erased later? Why face consequences when they can be softened afterward? Humanity might stop striving, knowing every emotional wound has an undo button. Courage could decline, resilience could fade, and life itself might feel less meaningful when nothing leaves a lasting mark. Yet, within this future lies extraordinary potential. Education could implant experiential knowledge. Skills could be reinforced by optimized memory pathways. Therapy could reach depths never imagined. Healing could be precise, personal, and permanent. The same tool that threatens identity could also elevate human capability beyond biological limits. The core question remains unsettling and unavoidable. If your memories can be rewritten, are you still you? Identity is not just what we choose to remember, but what we are unable to forget. Our scars prove we lived, endured, and evolved. A flawless path.
Perhaps the greatest danger is not memory editing itself, but forgetting why memories mattered in the first place. Pain shaped empathy. Failure built wisdom. Loss taught value. If we erase the shadows, we may also erase the light they define. Humanity has always grown forward by carrying its past, not deleting it. The future of memory will force humanity to choose between comfort and authenticity, control and growth, perfection and meaning. The technology may arrive quietly, but its impact will be louder than any revolution before it. Because when humans gain the power to rewrite their past, the very definition of being human will be rewritten with it. As this power matures, society will be forced to confront a strange new form of nostalgia, one that is no longer accidental but intentional. People may choose to relive modified childhoods, brighter versions of real events, or entirely redesigned moments that never truly happened. Memory tourism could replace travel, allowing individuals to revisit perfected emotional landscapes rather than imperfect reality. The danger is subtle yet immense, as people begin to prefer edited echoes of life over the raw experience of living it. Justice systems would tremble under the weight of editable recollection. Eyewitness testimony, once fragile, would become suspicious by default. Courts would need to verify not just facts, but the integrity of the mind that remembers them. A criminal could claim innocence by deleting intent. A victim could lose the clarity of harm. Truth would no longer collapse under lies, but dissolve under uncertainty, forcing civilization to redefine evidence itself. Parenthood in this future would be a moral battlefield. Would loving parents erase their child's trauma, or allow hardship to shape strength? Would they install confidence and obedience, or permit fear and rebellion? Childhood could become engineered rather than experienced, producing generations optimized for success, yet disconnected from emotional authenticity. The line between care and control would blur until it becomes almost invisible. Spirituality and belief would face their own crisis. Faith has always been intertwined with memory, tradition, and inherited story. If memories can be altered, belief systems could be reinforced artificially or dismantled deliberately. Enlightenment could be simulated. Doubt could be deleted. The sacred journey of questioning and discovery might be replaced by programmed certainty, leaving souls informed but not transformed. There would also be rebels who refuse editing entirely. They would wear their memories like armor, scars and all, choosing truth over comfort. In a world obsessed with emotional cleanliness, raw minds would appear dangerous, unstable, even primitive. Yet these unedited individuals may become the last keepers of genuine human depth, reminding society what it once meant to feel fully and remember honestly. Technology that edits memory would inevitably learn to predict it. Algorithms could identify which experiences will hurt, which will inspire, which will break a person before they happen. Prevention would replace reflection. Life might become a series of optimized emotional paths, where unpredictability is treated as a flaw instead of a gift. Surprise, once the essence of being alive, could slowly vanish. In the end, humanity will stand before a mirror unlike any it has ever faced. Not a reflection of the present, but a collection of chosen pasts. Every individual will carry a story they designed rather than endured. And the final question will echo through this future with unsettling clarity. When every memory can be changed, will we still recognize ourselves?